actually did the live. That was on Sunday, but I had volume issues. Yes, even now, if I don't know. I'm just in the car doing this. I'm trying to find a place to drop this. Okay, so we're here. So, how you doing? Whoever is listening to me, how are you? I hope you're doing great. Okay, the topic of it is divorce and my popular opinion. I saw a clip, that was today, right? Of a guy called Mohammed Hijab, and he was on podcast with Fresh and Fit. Some So actually saw the video on his own channel. So I was like, wow, this guy went on Fresh and Fit, because Fresh and Fit, I've stopped watching them like a long time ago. Initially, they were making sense, but later on they stopped making sense. So I just ignored them. So I saw that guy's video on his channel, and you could see he was there. And so there was this part he was making a certain statement about divorce, and I think he was talking about Muslim men are entitled to 4 wives, but you can marry more than 4. That's 4 at a time, at a particular time, but you can have more than 4 wives in the case where you divorce and marry. To be honest with you, the way he spoke about divorce and marry, to me it sounded too easy. Like, it's almost like there's no consequences. Do you understand? Just divorce and marry. Like, in a context of someone that does not have the knowledge of divorce in Islam, the person will mistake it for, oh, Islam promotes where you can just marry anyhow, divorce anyhow, and it's not like that. But meanwhile, the reason why I decided to come and talk about divorce in Islam is that I watched a channel, Cruise. At some point, I could not even finish watching it, but later on, I just had to watch it because I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk, like, my topic was surrounding that, their own topic, where there was anti-divorce and there was pro-divorce. You know, the ones that were on the anti-divorce panel, at some point I was scared of some of the things they were saying. See, you see, this marriage thing is a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. In as much as marriage is awesome, divorce can also be better. Yes. Like, personally, myself, I grew up in a broken home. My parents divorced when I was just 8 years old. Do you understand? Looking back now, yeah, did we feel the absence of our mom? Yes, the loneliness, or the good thing was that we were in the same city and we were still seeing each other. But looking back now, as I've grown, I'm glad sort of that they divorced, because their marriage sort of got toxic. Like, I remember while growing up then, yes, you could see there was fight and all that. And let me tell you something, if there's no peace in the home, the same children that you're saying your divorce is going to affect them, the same children your toxic marriage will also affect them. Trust me, it will also affect them. In the women's part, they will lose esteem. In the men's part, they will think it's normal to abuse a woman. Are you seeing? Now, coming to the Islamic point of view about divorce, divorce are in 3 stages. There's divorce. There's the stage 1, there's stage 2, and there's stage 3. Now, the stage 1 is reconcilable. If the husband and wife eventually feel that, okay, they want to come back together, good. Stage 2 is also reconcilable, but stage 3 is irreconcilable, whereby when you have divorced to that 3rd stage, it means that you cannot remarry. Sorry, it means that you cannot marry again. The wife, the female, has to go and remarry. Then when that her spouse that she remarries divorces her, then she can come back to you. Are you seeing that people will start all over again? Yes, it's as good as people are starting on a clean slate. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Now, the aspect of divorce is not something that we play around with. And that was like when this Mohammed Hijab was saying, you divorce before you bring in another one if you want to. You know, to me, it was looking like one simple thing. It was looking like one common thing. It was sounding like one irrelevant. No, do you know divorce is even something that Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, still frowns upon it. So sometimes when we're throwing out that kind of conversation in public, especially when you're dealing with people that don't know about your religion, you have to be careful what you throw out there. In as much as Allah permits divorce, still Allah is not happy. Like, it is described to us that it is a very sad, you know, where as human beings, let's say you get a bad news, you know, you'll be sad, you know, it's sad. So that is how they said when there is a divorce, the environment, the ambience is very, very sad. Sure, you understand. So what does it tell you? In as much as Allah has permitted divorce, it's still something He does not want. It's separation. In as much as death is inevitable, it's when it happens we still feel the pain. Chances is we already know that anybody that has life, any life must eventually die. You and I know very well that we can't live forever. But when it happens, there's that sadness, there's that denial, there's that pain, there's that grief. So also divorce. In as much as Allah has permitted divorce in Islam, it doesn't mean it's something He likes. Now that is on one part. And Allah to have permitted divorce knows that we're going to have some irreconcilable differences in every relationship and in marriage as well. In other relationships, you can just break up, especially if it's just a courtship, or you can just, or an engagement, you can just break up. If it's with friends, you can just stay away or give a break. Even though in that arguments on women were saying that one in the anti-divorce was like a separate, and then the other one was the one that was on the pro-divorce side. She was like, after separating, after she said she separated for almost how many years, but coming back it was still the same thing, in fact if not worse. See, it gets to a point where love is not enough. Like personally in Islam self, love is not even the first criteria for marriage. Yes, it's not the first criteria for marriage. When you're marrying someone, the first thing you consider is the person's deen, is the person's religious, his religious deen, his practice of the religion. Is it concrete? And that's one of the things you should consider first before other things. Beauty is not even in the forefront. Are you seeing? So once people say I'm divorcing because I fell out of love, that's weird. Because to start with, love is not really even the foundation of marriage in Islam. Is it important? Yes, it is very important. But other things come together to form love in Islamic marriage. When there's empathy, there's compatibility, trust me, love will just come. See, love is a feeling that grows. In as much as it grows up, it can also diminish. I don't know if now I'm trying to say this. So to me, love is not something that you would use as the forefront of getting married, because love fades. Like I said, it's an emotion, just like any other emotion, anger, pain, and all that. It fades. So by the time it fades, it's no longer there. Is that the basis for divorce? What if the person you're with is good? What if the person you're with is even compatible with you, but probably you don't love them? See, sometimes love can even kill you. I've seen a situation where people married for love and they ended up 6 feet down their grave right now, all in the name of marriage for love. So to me, I do not see divorce as something that is so unfortunate that some cultures and some other religions sort of stigmatize divorce, right? Even we in Islam, that's why the fact divorce is allowed, still does not mean that when you're divorced it's something good. No, it does not mean that you're giving credit for divorce, or it does not mean that you're being no. It will be sad when you go home. There will be that, because of course when you're divorced, you leave your husband's house and go at your father's house. Now where you want to stay before. You understand? So there will be that, she divorced. It's sort of stigmatizing-ish, but the fact that in my own religion, Islam, it is accepted is not so stigmatized, unlike some other religion and some other culture. Do you understand? Where, although now things are even gradually changing, things are seriously changing thanks to the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs are like one of the boldest, like, even though sometimes they can still be very confused, though, but these are a group of generation where they're no one stressed. They don't like stress. Do you understand? They have had it, but then it still brings us to the point where sometimes some divorces are senseless. They are senseless. So what am I trying to say from an Islamic point of view, from a Muslim point of view? I am not for anti-divorce. In fact, at some point, those that were even for the anti-divorce, they started scaring me with some of the things they were saying, because it's almost like a do or die affair. Like in Islam, there's nothing like a do or die in any form of relationship. If it's not working, we go away. Do you understand? Because it is staying by all means in some of these unhealthy relationships that brings about a lot of tragedy. Even though I remember in the panel someone was saying that a divorce does not even necessarily assure your safety in case you're scared of the person. Yes, he has a point. He seriously does have a point. But to me, I feel that the divorce is better than when you're in let's say most of the time the Western part of the world, you can file for restraining order. Though I know some things that are not supposed to happen have happened before, but for me, I feel that it happens more when you are in the marriage than when you are out. The percentage of someone harming you even after divorce is a lot less than someone harming you while you're in the marriage. Are you getting me? So to me, I am never an anti-divorce. I am a pro-divorce. If things are not working out, see, have you been in a situation where a marital couple, husband and wife, they are going back and forth with issues? It's so annoying. It is so alarming. It is so triggering. In fact, you will even tell the police you push divorce, that everybody have peace, because you cannot solve matter. In fact, even in the courts of law, where all those divorce lawyers, when they start telling you about their divorce cases, in fact, sometimes they even get tired of answering the phone calls of some clients. Yeah, some of their clients. Like, it's so draining, physically, emotionally, and otherwise. So it's better everybody goes their own way. It is not by force. It's just so unfortunate that we here in Africa, we have some societal values and culture that tend to affect us negatively, even though we still have the ones that still helps us positively. But there are some that does not go well, and it puts especially the female gender at a disadvantage. But that is by the way. And need I add quickly, in Islam, a woman can equally file for divorce, because I spoke about the divorce of the 1, 2, 3, like where the male does issues it out. A female can also file for divorce. Can you file for divorce as even low as something like he's not feeding me? Although leaving somebody in hunger is not small, it's not a low thing, but a female can even go and file for divorce for this man is not feeding me, he's not taking care of me, he's not doing the needful. And that brings me to another topic of where people are saying do 50-50 for what? 50-50 for what? Islamically, the man is the sole provider of the family, so 50-50 doesn't even come to play. 50-50 doesn't even come to play. The sole provider is the sole provider. If the woman wants to help with her own money, she helps. Yes, we understand why in a society where times are hard, the woman, if you're working, you have your money, you can contribute in the family. But you see that 50-50 thing, that what you bring to the table, it does not exist in Islam. It is clearly stated, this is how it is. And in Islam, let me even add, if it's not advisable to divorce a woman that is pregnant. But if you divorce a woman that is pregnant, okay, let's say maybe you didn't even know she was pregnant, or some men can be so hot-tempered that even in the pregnancy, even if you're pregnant, they will still divorce you and all of that. Now, even when they do that, Islamically, you're supposed to still take care of you. In fact, even if you're not pregnant, you leave for that first 3 months or so, they're supposed to still take care of you when there are kids, like, see, these things are stated clearly. Well, let's just still stick to divorce. Maybe subsequent topics we can talk of other things and all of that. But divorce in Islam, it is stated clearly. You're divorcing a woman does not mean you're throwing trash out. You understand? You're separating with your husband or divorcing with your husband does not mean you're doing away with trash. This person is a human being. You guys were married. There were so many beautiful moments, even though there were some sad moments that came and override the beautiful moment, does not mean you will not still have respect for each other, especially when there are kids in between. These kids will grow. There will be so many decisions, maybe their wedding, so many things will come in between. That you guys, you don't need to be friends. Do you understand? But you need to end, like, you don't need to be friends, but the way the Quran says it, you still need to have respect for each other. So this is my take. Like, subsequent videos, I will still talk. There's an important topic I want to talk about, like about friendship, toxicity, like, okay, no, relationships. And that's, when we talk of relationships, even though the one of marriage is the one that is much more, relationships are the ones that are much more lay a lot of emphasis. We can meet new friends, colleagues, neighbors that can trigger a certain part of us but that will be something I want to bring it like more like a series in different parts. Do you understand? But this is my take on divorce. I am not anti-divorce. I am pro-divorce. When it's not working out, leave. Thank you so much. Bye.